But who are the Sabians, right? Some shuyukh, they include the Sabians. Who are the Sabians? Can anyone in the text tell me who the Sabians are? Do you have any idea who the Sabians are? Anyone? Let me help you to help me. Let me help you to help me. The answer is, the Sabians were an ancient people group mentioned in the Bible as coming from a nation far away from Israel. So these were not Israelites, right guys? These people were pagans. What? They are pagans. But wait, Rob Christian, wait, Rob Christian. Are you telling me that Allah lied? How are they pagans and believers at the same time? Right? Those are, according to the Quran, the Jews, the Sabians, and the Christians are believers. Right? But they are pagans. How is it possible to call them believers of Allah? These are pagan people, man. But Muslims have to deal with this, guys. Muslims have to deal with this problem, right? These were pagan people. Ancient pagan people, right? They were enemies of the Jews. They did not like the Jews at all. Right? So these were a tribe, people far away from Israel. These were not Israelites. They were a people of stature, according to Isaiah 45:14, and a rival nation to Israel. Does it ring a bell? Guys, does it ring a bell? Maybe not, maybe yes, but let me not tell you the secret yet. I will explain to you why. So keep this in mind, guys. It's a rival nation to Israel, right? It's a rival nation, pagan nation that are enemies, huge enemies of the Israelites. Keep this in mind, guys, because this is important, okay? Keep it in mind. These are the enemies, an enemy nation of the Israelites. They are the enemies of the people of God, because remember, God chose the Israelites to be his people, right? God had a plan, and his plan is to choose people, and those people are the Israelites, right? So these people are enemies of the people of God. So keep this in mind, because I'm going to go back to this. This is a really important subject in this teaching. So the Sabians lived in the land of Sheba, which archaeologically suggests was a Semitic trading state that existed for 1,000 years in the area that is now Yemen. So basically they are from Yemen, of today's Yemen. They were not Israelites. They were not believers of the one God of the Holy Bible, right? Shema Israel, the Lord is one, right? Echad. So these people were enemies of the Jews, enemies of the Israelites. Why is it so important to know that they are enemies? I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to explain it later, okay guys? Now if you go to the hadith, and this is a Sahih hadith, Jami' at-Tirmidhi, hadith number 754. Sahih hadith, right? Let me give you the link. Are you with me, guys? Are you with me? I know this is a lot of deep stuff, but yeah, it is what it is, guys. According to one of the Sahaba, he said, I met up with Ibn Abbas, the cousin of Muhammad, while he was reclining on his rida at the Zamzam. Okay. So I said, inform me about the day of Ashura. The day of Ashura. On which day is it fasted? So one of the companions is asking another, on which day is Ashura fasted, guys? Ashura, remember the name, Ashura. He said, when you see the crescent of Al-Muharram. The crescent of Al-Muharram. So the crescent is the moon, right guys? It's a moon. And these people used to worship the moon, right? And this is why Islam is a cult that is worshipping the moon idol Allah. Then count and fast on the morning of the ninth day. I said, is this how Muhammad fasted? So the Sahabi is asking, is this how Muhammad fasted? He was looking at the crescent, at the moon. He said, yes. Did you catch it? Now, to understand what this Ashura is, guys, and what Ramadan is, because Ramadan and Ashura, guys, are pagan practices before Islam. They already existed before Islam, right? Ashura and Ramadan are pagan festivals, right? Pagan. Ramadan was a non-Muslim pagan Arab festival. It already existed before Islam. And Muhammad practiced it before becoming a Muslim. And he copied it, pasted it in Islam. Copy, paste. Ashura, copy, paste. And I'm going to explain to you what Ashura is. Okay, so bear with me, guys. So Ramadan already existed. The difference between the pre-Islamic Ramadan and the Islamic Ramadan is that the pre-Islamic Ramadan was practiced by pagan. Did you catch it? So Ramadan is not a new practice in Islam. It already was practiced by the pagans before Islam. Did you catch it, guys? If you didn't catch it, give me a 2. Then I'm going to explain it again. Did you catch it, guys? Give me 1 if you caught it. So Ramadan is not a new practice at all in Islam. Did you catch it? Okay, great. So the pagan tribes of Arabia used to do Ramadan, practice Ramadan, right? It's a pagan practice of fasting. Pagan practice of fasting, yes, correct. So if we go to Sahih al-Bukhari, this is the reference, 558, 172. Narrated Aisha, pay attention, guys. Ashura was a day on which the tribe of Quraysh used to fast in the pre-Islamic period of ignorance. So not only Ramadan, but also this celebration. So there are basically 2 celebrations, the Ashura and Ramadan. Ashura is not mandatory, Ramadan is mandatory, right? It's a must to practice Ramadan. But Ashura is not a must. Did you catch it? That's the difference between the 2. So this is a must in Islam. This is not a must, right? So Ashura was a day on which the tribe of Quraysh, the pagan tribe of Muhammad, Quraysh, right, used to fast in the pre-Islamic period of ignorance. The Prophet also used to fast on this day. So Muhammad was a pagan. Muhammad was a pagan. You see it? So when he migrated to Medina, he fasted on it and ordered the Muslims to fast on it. You see how Muhammad copied it, pasted it in Islam. It's a pagan practice. And to make it even more worse, guys, to make it even more worse, if we go to chapter 2, let me give you the link. If we go to chapter 2, Surah Al-Baqarah, the chapter of the cow. Are you with me, guys? Ayah 185. Chapter 2, Ayah 185. It says, Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed as guidance to man and clear proof of the guidance and a criterion. So when you see the new moon, now pay attention, guys. Pay attention here with me. Guys, I need you to be completely focused. Why? Because most of us here in the live chat and most of us who are listening, you don't know Arabic. I do. Okay? Let me teach you something. Here is a really hidden secret. What is that? That's this. Shahru Ramadan. Shahru Ramadan. The Ramadan is the month. If you ask a Muslim, what is Shahr? What is the meaning of Shahr? They will say it's a month. But wait a second. Rob Christian is here to bust you. I'm going to spank you. Why? Because Y is the same word. Here, you see here, do you see this word? And you see this word? Let me copy it, guys, so you can compare it. This word compared with this word. What's the difference, guys? There is no difference. It's the same word. One says month, The other one says the month, according to Muslims, right? El means the, right? It's the same word. You see it? Here it's translated as month, right? But here, now here's the deception, guys. It's translated as the new moon. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here the translator really busted Muhammad badly. And here's why. Guys, al-shahr, in today's meaning of the word, it means the moon. But before that, sorry, let me go back. My mistake. I mean, I can make mistakes. It's okay. Al-shahr used to mean the moon. Okay, did you catch it? Sorry, my bad. It used to mean the moon. But the Arab Muslims changed it later to the month. What? What did you say, Rob Christian? Repeat again. Al-shahr or the shahr means the moon. Used to mean the moon. Then the Arab Muslims changed it later to the month. Did you catch it? You cannot have a cake and eat it too. Yes, I'm so passionate, guys. When I'm passionate, I can make mistakes, right? It's okay, it's okay. We are humans, right? So, you see the difference, guys? Here it's called the month, and here it's called the moon. Uh-oh. Did you catch it? So, the real meaning is the moon. Right? So, let me go back. Ramadan is the festival of the moon. If this is the real translation, it means Ramadan is the festival of the moon. It was always about the moon idol, guys. It has always been about the moon idol. This is a pagan religion that is worshipping the moon idol, Allah. Allah, the moon idol. Did you catch it? Hence the word shahr. If you didn't see it, let me copy paste it again. Because Islam is a copy paste religion. Did you see it? This means the moon. Worshippers of the moon idol. It's all about the mooning. Yes, correctly. Let me drink something, guys. Really, my throat, man. Guys, please keep me in your prayers, okay? So I can become very healthy again and do, Lord willing, more live shows like this. Right? Do you see how this is a moon cult, guys? This is a moon cult. Worshipping the moon idol, Allah, right? Do you see it? I mean, how much more proof do you want, guys? Huh? Enough is enough, right? Rob Christian, stop spanking Islam so much, man. What's wrong with you, man? Why do you love to spank this man-made satanic cult so much? Why are you trying to prove everybody that Islam is a man-made cult by one man for his own sexual desires, for his own power lust? Remember what Aisha used to say to Muhammad? ما أرى ربك إن يسارع في هواك يا محمد. Aisha saying, and I quote, I see that your Lord hasten to fulfill your desires, O Muhammad. ما أرى ربك إلا يسارع في هواك يا محمد. Actually, Aisha busted Muhammad, right? She knew this guy is fabricating Quran for his own sexual desires. You see that? The proof is in front of you. Come on, man. This word is meaning is the moon. They had to change it to month. Right? And the proof is in the Quran. Do you see it? Same word. Here it means the moon. Here it means month. Why? Why is it not here, the moon? So if you can read it like this, Ramadan is the new moon. Celebration of the new moon. Right? Celebration of the moon idol. Festival, fasting festival of the moon idol. How much more proof do you need, guys? It's fasting for the moon idol Allah, for Allah's sake. And this is the number one fasting in Islam, right? This is mandatory on every Muslim. Except for the sick and, people who are sick, they cannot fast. But you know what we are trying to tell you, right? Moon idol Allah. Do you see it? Bam. Pagan roots of Ramadan. Right? The pagan roots of Ramadan. Man, I really get disgusted to talk about this pagan religion, but it is what it is, guys. We need to show the Muslims and everybody who has no clue about real Islam, what Islam is all about, that it's nothing but a pagan religion. Pagan religion, copy paste. And remember when I said to you guys, remember when I told you, focus on the Sabians, right? Focus on the Sabians. Why did Muhammad actually hate the Jews so much, as described in this Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 2926? Let me give you the link. Because Muhammad himself was a Sabian. He is a Sabian, practicing pagan rituals, pagan practices, like the Ramadan. And he really hated the Jews because the Sabians hated the Jews, right? The Sabians hated the Jews. This is why Muhammad says in this hadith, the judgment day, the judgment hour will not be established until you fight the Jews, all the Jews. And even the stones will talk, where the Jews are hiding behind. Oh Muslim, look, pay attention, guys. According to Muhammad, the stones will talk. They will say, oh Muslims, there is a Jew behind me, hiding behind me, so come and kill him. Muhammad hated the Jews because he was a nice pagan Sabian boy. A nice little pagan Sabian boy. Remember, we told you, we explained to you guys, let me go back. We told you to remember this small sentence, right, guys? The Sabians were a rival, enemies, an enemy nation to the Israelites, to the people of God, right? The chosen people of God in the Old Testament. You see why Muhammad hated the Jews? Because he was a nice pagan boy. Muhammad was a Sabian. What did you say, Arab Christian? Muhammad is a Sabian, speaking from Cave Hira. Muhammad is a Sabian, 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 Sabian. Did you catch it? Conclusion, Sabians were enemies of the Jews. This is why he hated the Jews. What's the link? Let me give you the link, guys. Someone is asking me for that. Here's the link, copy it, save it, bookmark it. All right? You see how we are showing you and are concluding that Muhammad is a Sabian. Don't say this is Arab Christian, his word. Let me prove it to you. Guys, let me prove to you that Muhammad was actually a Sabian, okay? Pay attention. If you want to know and want proof that Muhammad was a Sabian, Here comes my proof. Give me a one if you're with me. Guys, give me a one that to know that you are with me and you are paying attention, okay? Let me prove to you that Muhammad is a Sabian from the Islamic sources. All right, this is Sahih al-Bukhari. Let me give you the link. Are you with me, guys? Long hadith, I know. Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 344. Right? Let me post the reference also in the room. Sunnah.com, official Sunnah hadith, authentic hadith website. This is a very long hadith and I want to spare you, right? It's talking basically about that the Muslims wanted water and there was a woman, right? There was a woman who was standing and watching how the companions getting water, right? That's actually the context of the story. Now, if we continue reading, guys, pay attention. If we continue reading, it says that the Prophet of Islam, Allah is praying on him. In the meantime, Allah is still praying, ordered us to collect something from the lady, right? From this woman. So dates, flowers, sawiq were collected, whatever, which amounted to good meal. And if we continue reading, it's a really long hadith. The woman, she said, a strange thing. Two men met me and took me to the man. Who is that man? It's Muhammad, right? It's talking about Muhammad, who is called the Sabi. Who is Muhammad? How is he called? The Sabi, which is the singular for Sabian. Sabians, right? Sabians. So it's called the Sabian. Muhammad is called the Sabian. This is Sahih al-Bukhari, guys. Don't blame me. This is Sahih al-Bukhari. Sahih hadith. And he did such and always 3 times, right? Lord have mercy. Muhammad had to do things 3 times, right? Always 3 times. By Allah, he's either the greatest magician. So she's calling him the greatest magician, right? Between this and this. She made a gesturing with her index and her middle fingers, raising them towards the sky, indicating to heaven and the earth. Or he's Allah's true apostle. You see? So this is talking about Muhammad, the Sabian. Muhammad is the Sabian, right? Someone is calling me on the phone, but I will not pick up because I'm in... Okay, my brother is calling. I'll call him later, guys. Don't worry. So Muhammad is the Sabian here. If we scroll down, he is called a Sabian for a second time. Or was it up? Let me go up. Bear with me, guys. Okay, it's long hadith. If I do a search, this is the, you see, 2 times. He's called 2 times Sabian. You see it? He is called, do you mean who is called the Sabian? And then again he's called the Sabian. Do you see it? Twice. I only search for this word, right, guys? Let me make it bigger. I only search for this word. Twice. You see? He's twice called the Sabian. Do you see it? Do you see it? Guys, did you catch it? So twice in this hadith, Muhammad is called the Sabian. Right? The proof is in front of you that Muhammad was a Sabian. And he is the enemy of the Jews from the beginning already. This is why Muslims hate Jews. Because their prophet is a Sabian. Right? You see why Muhammad hated the Jews? The enemies of, the people of God. He was the true enemy of the people of the book. Right? The enemy of the people of the Holy God. Right? The Holy God of the Holy Bible. I'm good, Black Angel, but I'm still not 100% recovered. I'm still a little bit sick, okay? So please keep me in your prayers. So the proof is in front of you that Muhammad is called a Sabian, right? Let me give you the source so you will not call me a liar. I hope the Muslims are watching and they are shocked that their prophet is a Sabian, right? If we go back to the Quran, surely the believers and the Jews, the Nasara, and the Sabians. Do you see it? It's in the Quran. Muhammad is a Sabian, right? This is why he wanted the Jews dead. The last hour, the judgment hour, will not be established. It will not come if not all the Jews are dead. You see how much Muhammad hated the Jews. And you see how Muhammad is actually the worst enemy of the people of God, the real God, the true living God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So, conclusion is, Muhammad is the follower of Satan because Satan hates the people of God. Bam! Bam! Conclusion, Muhammad is a Satanist. Thank you, Black Angel. God bless you. Thank you. Appreciate it. How much more proof do we need to show you that Muhammad is a Satanist? He who hates the people of God. Spanked, served, busted. Right? And Muhammad is a Sabian according to the hadith of in Sahih al-Bukhari. About Ashura, guys, about the Ashura, Muhammad actually stole this from the Jews. Muhammad stole this from the Jews, right? Ashura, guys, Muhammad stole that also from the Jews because the Jews had the Day of Atonement, which is Yom Kippur. What? Yom Kippur. The Day of Atonement. Because he was so jealous of the Jews who rejected him, he needed to create a similar pagan. We proved to you that Ashura is a pagan religion practiced before Islam, right? It's a pagan ritual. It's a pagan practice. Not mandatory in today's Islam. Muhammad did practice this though, but he got it from the Jews, right? It's Yom Kippur, and Yom Kippur is the most important day for the Jews, right? It's the Day of Atonement. Do you see it? It's the most sacred and solemn day in the Jewish calendar. Right? And Muhammad, because he wanted to copy the Jews, always copying the Jews, he took this and made it basically a counter ritual. And according to Islam, Ashura commemorates the day that Allah, yeah, right, Allah saved the children of Israel. We proved in the beginning, guys, that Allah is certainly not Jehovah of the Holy Bible. Different God, right? Anyway, Lord have mercy. So according to this ayah, Allah saved the children of Israel. So it's actually copy-paste. Right? Copying the Jews. And he called it Ashura. But actually it was a, what? A pagan practice. And if we go to the hadith, again Sahih al-Bukhari, let me give you the link. When the Prophet, Allah is praying on him, arrived at Medina, he noticed that some people among the Jews used to respect Ashura. No. Jews don't practice Ashura. The Jews practice Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, right? You see it, how he's lying about the Jews? There is no Jew who calls Yom Kippur Ashura. This proves that Muhammad had no clue what the Jews actually practiced. And he called it Ashura. What did he do? Look, guys, look at this comedy, guys. Look at this comedy. Guys, pay attention. Give me a one. Look at this comedy. According to Muhammad, i.e., this is the 10th of the Muharram. So basically, the month, around month September, because they start counting from December, right? Kanun al-awwal, Kanun al-thani, right? So they start counting. If you count from December all the way to September, you'll get 10 months, right? And the Jews, according to Muhammad, used to fast on it. That's a lie. The Jews never called it Ashura, and we proved it to you, right? They call it Yom Kippur. When is Yom Kippur? In September, right? Or October. Depends on in which year you are living, right? As you see, Sunday, 27th of September. So it's called Yom Kippur. There's nothing called Ashura, right? And what did Muhammad say? Look at the comedy, guys. Pay attention. Muhammad is saying, then said, we have more right, according to Muhammad, he has more right to observe fast on this day and ordered that fasting should be observed on it. Copying from the Jews. And Muhammad, are you joking? Muhammad, are you joking? How do you deserve more than the Jews? First of all, the Jews don't practice Ashura. Their day is called Yom Kippur. So here, this is a bust. Bust number one, right? Bust number one, Jews don't practice Ashura. That's number one. And number two, if you're going to call it Yom Kippur, how does Muhammad have more right for this day while Jews don't practice it? You see, Ashura Kshaltra is actually a pagan practice before Islam. We proved it to you before, right? It's where did I? It's a pagan. It's a pagan practice, like Ramadan, right? You see it, Ashura was the day on which the tribe of the Quraysh used to fast in the pre-Islamic period. Did you catch it? So Muhammad had no clue, and he thought that this is the same practice. But this is a practice by the pagans. Do you see it? So Muhammad confused, guys, pay attention. Muhammad confused Yom Kippur, sorry if I'm butchering the name, with the pagan Ashura. We can make this conclusion now, right, guys? Give me a one if you're with me. Did you catch it? Muhammad confused Yom Kippur with the pagan Ashura. Is this a prophet of God, guys? Is this a prophet of God? Can we call this man a prophet of God? Or should we call him a Sabian pagan? Right? So here Muhammad truly confused himself. He even could not copy and paste it perfectly. Why are you calling it Ashura? That's not what the Jews practice. They celebrate Yom Kippur, right? They don't celebrate Ashura. Lord have mercy, guys. Pagan religion on top of pagan religion. It's a pagan cult. Islam is a pagan cult. Muhammad was confused. Right? This is why we say Ramadan, Ashura. And this is why we claim with enough proof for everybody to see, and you are my witnesses, that Islam has pagan roots. Ramadan, Ashura are pagan. Right? And we prove to you that Ramadan is the celebration of the moon, right? It's the celebration of the moon, right? Ashura, the moon, right? We proved it from the Quran. Do you see it? This is the translation for this word, the moon, right? So Ramadan is the celebration of the moon, and Ashura is the practice of the pagans, right? Right? It is the practice of the pagans before Islam. Hence why Islam is a pagan religion, right, guys? If we continue, guys, not only that, let me prove more to you that Islam is a pagan cult. This is a hadith from at-Tirmidhi, Jami' at-Tirmidhi, hadith number 871. Sahih. It says the following. Look what it's saying. I don't want to read the entire hadith because it's very long and we are already for a long time live. But it says, no one is allowed, Muhammad did not allow anyone to go around. Tawaf is basically going around the Kaaba, right? That's what they call tawaf. So going naked around the Kaaba. You see, the Muslims and the pagans, before Muhammad ordering that there are no pagans allowed anymore because they are filthy, right? Remember, Quran chapter 9, ayah 28. The pagans are not allowed, the mushrikun are najis, right? They are not allowed to enter Mecca anymore. Not come near Masjid al-Haram. But before that, even in the time of Muhammad, the Muslims and the pagans used to go naked around the Kaaba. This, guys, was a Sabian practice, because we proved to you that Muhammad was a Sabian, right? We proved it already. So the Muslims in the time of Muhammad and the pagans used to go naked around the Kaaba. Not only that, guys, they used to have sexual orgies around the Kaaba. They were boing around the Kaaba. Right? I don't want to say the word, right? Bam, bam, bam around the Kaaba. Boing around the Kaaba. Orgies, man. And they went around it naked. But then Muhammad forbid it, right? He forbid it. From another hadith, let me give you this link too. This is from Sahih al-Bukhari. No pagan is allowed to perform hajj after this year. This is chapter 9, ayah 28, right? From the Quran. And no naked person, you know, Muslims naked used to go naked around the Kaaba, right? So no pagan is allowed to perform hajj after this year, and no naked Muslim pagan is allowed to perform tawaf, going with circles around the Kaaba. Bam! See, guys, this ritual going around the Kaaba is another Sabian practice. Because Muhammad was a Sabian, he did nothing but a copy-paste in his new man-made religion called Islam. Bam! Pagan on top of pagan. Pagan on... How many more pagan rituals do you have in Islam, guys? Islam is nice, copy-paste pagan religion. A new pagan religion. And not only that, guys, even the name of the city, because, guys, if we go and try to find any historical map in the time of Muhammad, we can find Mecca. Remember Dan Gibson? Remember Dan Gibson, his research? There's nothing called Mecca. There was no Mecca on any map. Why? It did not exist. Petra did exist, because the early mosque, guys, if you watch Dan Gibson, his live show together with DCCI, Dan Gibson was providing with crystal clear evidence that the early Kaabas, the early built Kaabas, all faced Petra. And even the name of the city, guys, Mecca, was the name of the ancient moon god of the Sabians. What? Yes, correctly. Their god was called Mecca. Mecca, whatever you want to call it. So the god of the Sabians, the moon god of the Sabians, was called Mecca. Uh-oh. You see where the name Mecca comes from? It's nothing but worshipping of the moon idol. Islam, the name of the city, everything is worshipping of the moon idol. Right? Everything is around of the worshipping of this moon idol. Idol, La, Bad, whatever you want to call him. Sin, Mecca, right? Let me type it for you here. These are all names for the moon idol. Hubal. So Muhammad was a nice Sabian boy, right? We proved it already. He was called a Sabian, right? You see? Sabians. It's all about the Sabians. Muhammad was a nice Sabian boy, pagan boy. How many more evidence and proof do you want from me? Right? So like we said, Muhammad was a nice little pagan Sabian boy. He used to practice pagan rituals, pagan festivals. Ramadan was pagan. Ashura was pagan. Going circles around the Kaaba was pagan practice. So conclusion, Sabians were the enemies of the people of God, the Jews, the chosen people of God in the Old Testament. This is why Muhammad hated the Jews. Bam!